sell that weighs nothing. And I mean nothing compared to what I'm going to talk about today in my Q&A. For most sales companies, the last 3 months has been an absolute roller coaster. While B2B buyers become more self sufficient in researching purchase decisions and expect a more digital buying experience, the recent pandemic has immensely added to this. And I feel 2021 might be the year we see inside sales tip the scales and solidifying its place in the future of sales. Today, I'm in conversation with Shahid Khan. He's the founder of Jumpptech, a digital marketing and digital storytelling company. He's passionate about digital marketing, technology, entrepreneurship, blogging, and rally driving. Shahid has spent the last 24 years with Apple, Intel, Microsoft, Dell-EMC in sales and alliance leadership roles, managing enterprise business in India and global markets. Shahid is a national roller skating champion, winner of various awards in trophies in autocross and national car rally events, and completing the Tour of Nilgiris, a cycling tour of more than 1,000 kilometers in 7 days with a cumulative climb of 7,000 meters. I mean, these are some of his personal achievements. Shahid, thank you so much for joining us today. It's a great time to be talking to you about something that's been around for decades, but I think it's seeing increased prominence with companies in the recent months.
Thanks for having me, Pawan. I hope I can provide some value to your audience. Yes, these are challenging and interesting times. COVID-19 has forced people to think creatively and find different ways of selling their products and services, especially remote selling is one of them.
So Shahid, let me get started with something I'm very curious about. While many organizations are making their purchases even without meeting a sales rep in person, how do you see the role of a sales professional panning out in the years to come?
So Pawan, the sales role has evolved over the years, more so in the last few months because there was no option but to sell from home. The evolution of technology and social selling, I think, has changed the sales processes, especially in the last decade. But I foresee three changes. The question you asked, I think there are three changes which might or should take place after COVID-19.
Mhm.
The first one is
Okay.
we are going to see humanized version of sales, which involves relationship building at its core. People now want to connect more than ever, and they are unlikely to talk to people they don't know or trust. So humanized version is going to play a very important role. We have to be empathetic when we talk to people. I'm sure nowadays when we talk to people, we say, "How are you? How's your family?" That's how we start our conversation nowadays. The second one is pricing. I don't think the one size fits all model will be applicable much longer. We are going to see customized pricing, packages based on areas, country, and current needs. Especially, looking at the present situation, people will come out with very specific and customized packages. We will see organizations using this as a USP to make a sale. I think I'm hoping that's the way it's going to be. Then, thirdly, the organizations have to think beyond traditional target segments and customers. And let me explain what I mean. Imagine if you're focused on selling to travel, hospitality, retail, or specific segments which are affected because of COVID-19. Then you better reevaluate your strategy. I will also go to the extent of saying increase the solution portfolio to address the needs arising out of this crisis. And lastly, I will say we have to put more emphasis on technology. Increase usage of video conferencing and the use of digital tools and software will be required to make the sales. So, these are some of the points I think are going to drive the sales going forward.
Interesting. So, while many companies are already functioning with inside sales teams, then in the current context, what does it take for a B2B organization to revamp or put together a inside sales team then?
Pawan, aren't we inside sales managers already?
Right.
No doubt, it is not as easy as it sounds to start a remote selling organizations suddenly. Many of them have never done this before. The people are so used to selling offline. Inside sales is a different ball game altogether. Making use of an inside sales workforce requires lots of planning and thought. And in light of current events, companies are forced to make the transition a lot quicker than usual. And I can understand where you're coming from. Like, how can we accelerate the process of, setting up a inside sales team? So, while there is no secret sauce to ramp up the team, I can think of 3 points which can probably help in setting up the inside streams little quickly or quicker. Well, one is lot of people who have demonstrated great skills in remote selling in your organization during COVID-19. Look for such people. Consider moving them to the inside sale team and look for such people who are natural with relationship building remotely. I think I would look for such people in given circumstances when I can't even find them so easily. Number two, get the managers and employees trained on inside sales training programs. I'm sure Learngage is doing that, and I'm sure you're playing a role in training some of those people. So I think, when you have to evolve and if you have to start driving inside sales, some form of training would be very helpful to onboard these people quickly.
Right.
Then provide the right tools. It is very critical for us to provide our workforce, to drive the inside sales properly. Now, it could be video conferencing tools. Now, there are many tools which we are aware of, and there are many which have emerged. I'm not going to name those tools, but such tools, chat tools. It could be project management tools. It could be CRM tools. I think if these tools, and some of these points will probably help, ramp up the inside sales teams faster.
Okay. So, Shahid, you have built sales organizations for some of the largest MNCs, over the last 2 decades. Are you seeing a hierarchical shift in the way sales teams will function, henceforth?
Well, it is little early to say how the hierarchical shifts may take place, but I was reading about it and a few experts believe that the new normal in offices will be a flat hierarchy-less setup. Now, in a world where everyone is scrambling for answers, remote workers become life hackers. Don't you agree? And brainy introverts can solve unprecedented problems better than others. Some of the people who have been behind the desk and behind the scene, and they are, sort of introvert. But imagine when there's such kind of opportunity comes in front of them, they are the first ones to react and help people. So the brightest and the most proactive workers will shine with or without a manager. That's one take. And if you think of it, people will not be able to flaunt the size of their cabin or the artifacts or a video call. In a small to mid-sized companies, the physical office itself may disappear as CXOs and teams begin to operate out of co-working spaces. So I think it is early to say, but there is a hierarchical shift, and I'm sure we will see some of those changes in the next few months and next few years.
I agree. So let's move from people to platforms, right? And as this trend continues, what role do you think communication technology like machine learning or digital tools would take us over in the longer term?
I love this question, Pawan, and because we provide such solutions to our customers, and we really tell our customers that make use of technology, make use of some of the artificial intelligence and machine learning to address your customers and help them build better customer experience. Well, with more and more people interacting and conducting business online, machine learning and digital tools will definitely play an important role, as you just said. And it will enhance the customer experience and also help build more leads, from online technologies. Now, let me share a few examples. My favorite one is personalization. Now, think about how Netflix suggests and recommends content personalized to our liking. When we have watched a crime series or we have been watching some action movies, it'll keep recommending more such programs to us. Now, it is not based on country or geography, but it is based on individual. So it's basically using the machine learning and reading and analyzing all the data we're consuming and then recommending based on what we've seen and what we've liked or what we have ignored. So that's an awesome example of personalization. Now, next is think about customer service. Now, did you know that more than 70% customers prefer live chat to get their questions answered quickly? I am not going to talk about the advantages of a bot or a live chat, but it is one of the most essential tools today to provide better customer experience. By the way, we at Jumpptech, we provide bots and we provide live chat solution to our customers. But I recommend everybody, if you have a website, you should have a live chat or a bot, answering some of the important questions, and especially at this time when customers are trying to reach you and you and it's probably a best way to give them some answers at any point of time, whether you're sleeping or you're awake. So that's how the bot can help. I will also suggest use of automation wherever possible. Now we can automate marketing programs, the email marketing programs, and some of the software can help you automate the delivery of content, emails, segment the audience, send them reminders, amongst others. It is a good practice to deliver the best ROI from automation. And there are a few more, but I think these will definitely help to build better experience and engagement with your customers.
Right. So I think the future looks really promising, Shahid. But let me, I think, step back a bit and then ask you about, is there a way to determine if outside sales or inside sales is the right model for a company? Are you seeing that outside sales will completely disappear in the near future?
Good question, Pawan. I wish I had a good answer for it, but I'm going to attempt. And let me start by giving you some data points. Now, IBM did one survey, and according to this survey, they found that 54% of employees would prefer to work primarily remotely, especially after this COVID-19. In another survey, as of 2019, the amount of companies with a remote workforce is getting larger. 66% of companies allow remote work and 16% are fully remote. Imagine that. There are many companies who are completely work remotely. They don't even have offices, so to speak. Having said that, we don't see outside sales, at least I don't see outside sales disappearing completely. There are many professions which will require to demonstrate the product physically, meeting people personally, and then there are you will definitely, but at the same time you will see more focus on inside sales because of the efficiency people have seen and the productivity they are enjoying. So definitely there will be a shift in terms of more inside sales, emerging in many organizations. Now, as far as deciding the which sales model is ideal, I can say that when the product is generally of lower cost and lower complexity, then it is ideal to be part of inside sales model. And when we have to cultivate stronger relationships with clients and continue to to sell them based on relationships, and it's a longer sales cycle, then I have seen more of outside sales and people following up on those accounts and making these sales. So I think that's where I will see the difference. And I think about a boss which you are trying to sell to a retail organization, or you're selling into a mall and you have to go and demonstrate some of these products, which is required to be physically shown. So there are many such examples where you will require outside sales to be doing the role in order to make that sale.
Okay. So, before we kind of wrap up, I have a question that I really want you to help me with. Can you share insights on how inside sales professionals, remote selling guys can really up their game in 2020? Then,
Well, first of all, we have to stop thinking this is temporary. Okay, I don't think these things are really going to go back to normal completely. This is a big shift to working remotely. Even after the virus is discovered, a lot of companies are going to make it optional going forward. I think there's going to be a permanent shift to make sure remote by default is the start, and the exception is coming to the office. Can you imagine? You may not even have an office. They will give you a choice. Okay, do you want to work from home, or you want to come to the office? I mean, I'm not sure. I'm not saying everybody will follow that practice, but there will be many organizations which will be moving towards that direction. For instance, TCS. TCS has decided to go with 25% of workforce which will work from office by 2025. So which means 75% of their workforce is going to work remotely. And that's a huge step. And we are in 2020. In 5 years, that's a goal they want to achieve. Now, second thing is people should become comfortable with technology and start using tools to interact and build relationships. And I have been part of this journey, so you are. And I have seen people struggling using these tools, using video conferencing tools. They are not even sure how to build relationship, how to make a conversation on a video call. So, I would say people have to become comfortable with technology and get used to these tools. There will be a mixture of both inside and outside sales. I would call it hybrid, but I will suggest people to reinvent, reskill themselves to stay relevant in the game. And that's what I will tell my employees and the people I know, that they have to, they have to reskill themselves to be part of this new normal.
yeah, right. Thank you, Shahid. I think it looks like in the next couple of months or years to go, we won't see much of meetings. We will only see virtual handshakes. Companies will really invest on a lot of platforms, making it more personalized, reaching out to more people through technology. And I think, like you said, people have to make key behavioral shifts if they have to exist and beat competition. Thank you so much again for joining us. It's been lovely speaking to you. And thank you for being a part of our guest at Learngage today. Have a good day.
No problem, Pawan. Love to. I think it was some very good questions, and and as you said, we have to embrace this shift and be prepared for the next few challenges. We don't know what's coming, but thanks for inviting me, and it was lovely speaking to you as well.
Thank you.